This is going to be a real treat. We have got Kayla Economou here today. She is the portfolio manager over at Elemental Accelerator, also one of our Bloom 23 emerging leaders. Okay, how is that emerging leaders experience going so far? What are you looking forward to?
It's incredible. The energy has been incredibly warm and receptive and welcoming, and it's a great platform for BIPOC folks to be able to get in the door and make deep and meaningful relationships with people all across the industry. Even just this morning, I've already been able to meet so many people that are all tackling really hard and challenging problems. But what keeps me coming back to this work are like the relationships that we form with each other and being real humans with real issues, and tackling things like the climate crisis and biodiversity loss makes all the difference.
You're here to being real humans.
Yes.
I like that. Necessary call out. You are a proud Pacific Islander. What are some things about that lineage that are particularly special or important to you?
I love this question so much. As a Samoan woman who grew up in Hawaii for most of my life, I have lived experience growing up in climate vulnerable communities that are on the front lines of both the climate crisis and biodiversity loss. And things that I'm really proud of from that ancestry are our history, our struggles, our resilience. I would like to live in a world where we don't have to be so resilient all the time. But I am also really proud of the deep relational and reciprocal relationships that we have with one another and also with our land, and the ways that we show up for people, each other, and ways that we protect our land as well.
I mean, to me, I know a lot of the work you do is climate tech, and climate tech can sometimes feel very cold as opposed to like what you're talking about in terms of relational. So what's something we might not know about how climate tech can help these climate vulnerable populations?
That's so true. I think there's two big misconceptions that I often see in the world of climate tech deployment. The first being that the idea that climate tech deployment is purely a technological endeavor, but it's actually fundamentally a social endeavor at its core. It's about bettering our environment, bettering the lives of people and communities, and bringing that all together. And then the second misconception I often see is this idea that permission is already granted. Sometimes it's not, and it's really vital that we get permission approval and buy-in from communities where we're going to deploy technology in, because they're the key to making a successful project deployment, and they're going to be the ones that are living with it in their backyards.
Yeah.
You're an emerging leader, but you're also already a leader. You're at Elemental, you're a portfolio manager at Elemental Accelerator, a longtime partner of various GreenBiz events. Tell us a little bit about what you spend your day-to-day doing, what you're excited about as a portfolio manager.
Great question. No one day is the same, but if I had to give you an average day, it looks like making sure we reach out to community and bring them into the puzzle when we're looking at climate tech solutions. And we do this early on throughout our due diligence stage. We make sure we have a town hall or marketplace of sorts where community members are brought into the fold and they're able to participate in our due diligence process and give us their opinions and their thoughts about different solutions that we're looking at. And then another big part of it is making sure that our founders are set up for success, making sure that our traditionally excluded founders are also equipped with the tools and relationships that they need to thrive, which is often not the case. And so making sure they have the deep sense of community that helps to bring that out is really vital.
You know, I feel like being at these events in particular is such a great opportunity to build those relationships because when you're on the ground, it's just an easier conversation to have. So, you know, who are you looking forward to meeting? What are you looking forward to seeing?
I would love to meet folks that are doing the actual work on the technology side, a lot of startups that are here on the biodiversity and nature tech side. And then I'd also love to meet folks from communities and also the indigenous folks from this area and the land that we're in, and be able to exchange and learn about the different practices that they use for protecting their land and honoring their traditions.
Yeah.
What's one, we only got 30 seconds here, but your experience as an emerging leader, not just capital E, capital L as part of the program here, but the concept behind that, being an emerging leader in a program like this, what's one piece of that experience that you don't think some folks joining us on the live stream might understand that you'd want to share with them?
Great question. I think maybe the thing that may not be as obvious on paper are the relationships that are required in this industry, and even just as a young professional in general. it's a very relational industry, I would say, being able to work with companies, work with founders, but then making sure that you have on the roots, on the ground, and eyes and ears in communities that will be interacting with the technology. And I think access is a big thing, and having
Kayla,
sponsors.
you're wonderful. Please spend more time with Kayla Economou. She's delightful. She's got a lot to say, and she's going to change everything for all of us.
Right.
So be Team Kayla.
We've been joined by Kayla Economou, Portfolio Manager at Elemental Accelerator and Badass Emerging Leader. Thank you for joining us, Kayla.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.